Hello students, welcome to my channel. I am Hashim Ali Khan here. Presently I am giving the lectures on the subject cost accounting. So in this subject of cost accounting we are doing the chapter on labor. So I have given one complete video on the theory or introduction of labor. Then I have solved some 6 to 7 short problems on calculation of labor cost and payment of wages. Then we have done 7 long main problems on calculation of wage payment and labor cost. Now we are in the 8th problem. So if you are first time watching my video, then you may not be able to understand it properly. That's why you have to go to beginning, go to the theoretical part of this labor, watch the complete video, then come to this problem. Then definitely you can be able to get the grasp of the subject. And also if you are new to my channel, you can go to the playlist of my channel. I have uploaded the videos of different subjects. So select your concerned subject, watch the video completely, get a complete command on the subject. Now, come on, before starting the problem, I expect my viewers to have a hard copy of all the problems. I have provided the problems in the link under my description. So get a hard copy of the problems and keep it ready before watching the video. Now I am starting the 8th problem. 7 problems we have completed in the previous video, up to the previous video. Now 8th problem, you see, a factory employs 2 fitters, 1 welder and 1 helper on a piece rate of rupees 1,350. So a factory has employed 2 fitters, 1 welder and 1 helper. Totally 4 workers the factory has employed for a piece work of rupees 1,350. So completely piece work 1,350 total wages. The time spent by each of them is 220 ordinary working hours. The rate of pay on time basis is 1 rupee 50 paisa per hour for each of the 2 fitters and 1 rupee per hour for the welder and 50 paisa 0.50 per hour for the helper. See, every worker has to work 220 hours. 220 hours at the wage rate of rupee 1 per hour for the fitter and 1 rupee 50 paisa per hour for the fitter, 1 rupee for the welder and 50 paisa for the helper. Now calculate the amount of piece work premium and share of each worker when the piece work premium is divided proportionately on the basis of wages paid on the time basis. So we have to apportion the piece work premium. So first of all we have to calculate the piece work premium, then apportion the piece work premium between the workers in the ratio of wages according to time basis. So first of all we have to find out what is the total premium, piece work premium. Then we have to find out what is the total wages according to time basis. We have to find out the ratio. In that ratio the piece work premium will be divided. It's very simple problem. Now you can see total wage bill is 1,350. Wages of 2 fitters. 2 fitters are there. Each fitter works for 220 hours and each hour per hour the wages are 1 rupee 50 paisa. So 2 fitters are working. Each fitter works for 220 hours and the rate per hour is 1.50. So if you multiply 2 into 220 into 1.5, 660 is the total wages of fitters on time basis. Similarly, wages of helper. Only 1 helper is there. He works for 220 hours and his wage rate is 1 rupee per hour. So 1 into 220 into 1 into 220 into 1. It is 220. So 220 rupees is the wage payment according to time basis for the welder. Now helper. Only 1 helper is there and he works for 220 hours. His rate is 0.50 per hour, 50 paisa per hour. So multiply, you will get 110. So total 660 plus 220 plus 110, 990 is the total wages of all the 4 workers. 2 fitters, 1 welder, 1 helper. All the 4 workers total wages according to time basis. According to time basis is 990. Now we have to find out how much is the piece work premium. If it is paid according to time, the total wages come to 990. But according to piece work basis, the total wage bill is 1,350. The total wage bill is 1,350. So how much is the excess wage bill we are paying? That is premium. That is the piecework premium. तो piece work premium is equal to total wage bill minus wages on time basis. Total wage bill 1350, wages according to time basis 990. 1350 minus 990, 360 is the piece work premium. Piece work premium paid to the workers is 360. Now the piece work premium of 360 rupees should be apportioned in the ratio of wages on time basis. It is given in the problem. In the last line it is given the piece work premium should be divided in the between the workers in the ratio of wages according to time basis. So how much is the wages according to time basis? 660, 220, 110. So this is the ratio. 660, 220 is to 110, or if you remove 10, 66 is to 22 is to 11, and all the three are divisible by 11. 11 6 are 66, 11 2s are 22, 11 1s are 11. So 6 is to 2 is to 1. 6 plus 2, 8, 8 plus 1, 9. So this piecework premium 360 rupees will be divided in the ratio of 6 is to 2 is to 1. 6 by 9, 2 by 9, 1 by 9. So how much piecework bonus fitters will get? Fitters. So 360 rupees is the total piecework premium into 6 by 9. So it comes to 240 rupees. So out of 360 rupees, 240 rupees goes to fitters. How many fitters are there? 2 fitters. Similarly, welder. 360 into 2 by 9, it comes to 80. So 80 rupees is the piecework premium payable to welder. One welder is there. Helper. 360 into 1 by 9, 40 rupees is the piecework premium payable to helper. Only one helper is there. So 2 fitters will get 240, 1 welder will get 80, and 1 helper will get 40 rupees. So piecework premium will be paid as to 120 rupees to each fitter. 240 rupees we are paying to 2 fitters. There are 2 fitters. Total amount paid 240. So each fitter will get 120 rupees. So 120 rupees each fitter, 80 rupees to welder, and 40 rupees to helper. That's it. This is the end of problem number 8. Now see the problem number 9. The standard production in a factory is 10 units per hour for a day of 8 hours. The day consists of 8 working hours, and the workers have a standard production, standard output of 10 units. The management has given the target that in 1 hour 10 units must be produced, and the day consists of 8 hours. The daily output, standard output should be 8 into 10. 80 units is the standard output per day. Bonus rated on efficiency is paid according to a scale as follows. So if a worker has produced more output, then he will be given bonus depending on his efficiency. So what is the level of efficiency and bonus percentage on wages? So actually wages will be paid according to time basis. What is the rate? The wage rate is 6 rupees per hour. Wage rate is 6 rupees per hour. So how many hours he has to work? 8 hours. So 8 into 6. 8 6 are 48. So per day every worker will get 48 rupees. Apart from that, they will get bonus depending on their efficiency, how much production they have made. Level of efficiency up to 60% of standard nil. Standard 80 units. एक दिन में standard number of units 80 है. तो 60% of 80, it comes to 80 into 60%. 80 into 60%, it comes to 48. So if a worker has produced up to 48 units per day, he will not get any bonus. He is not at all efficient. क्योंकि बनाना है उसको 80 यूनिट्स, लेकिन अगर कोई वर्कर 48 यूनिट्स तक अगर बनाएगा तो उसको कोई बोनस नहीं है. He is producing less than 60% of the standard. So up to 60% no bonus will be given. Above 60% and up to 75%. If a worker has produced the output over 60% but up to 75%, he will be paid bonus at the rate of 5% of the wages. Similarly, above 75% and up to 90%. If a worker has produced over 75% up to 90% of standard output, then he will be paid wages 10% of the wages as bonus. Above 90% up to 100%, he will be paid bonus एट द रेट ऑफ 15% ऑफ वेजेस। तो यहाँ पर स्केल दे दिया है, अप टू 60% ऑफ स्टैंडर्ड बनाएगा नो बोनस नील। हाँ, 60 से बढ़कर 75% तक अगर कोई बनाएगा, प्रोडक्शन करेगा, he will be paid bonus at the rate of 5% of wages. If a worker has produced above 75% up to 90%, he will be paid bonus 10% of wages as his bonus. If a worker has produced above 90% up to 100%, he will be paid 15% of bonus. For an increase of every 1% efficiency beyond 100%, the bonus also rises by 1%. So if a worker has produced more than 100% of standard, so for every 1% over 100%, 1% bonus will also increase. For example, up to 100% जो बनाएगा उसको 15% bonus, 15% of bonus. Suppose if a worker has produced 105%, 105%, तो how much extra percent? 5% extra. तो we add 5% in bonus also. बोनस पहले से 15% पे कर रहे हैं और 5% पे करेंगे, 20% of wages will be the bonus. So for every 1% increase in efficiency, the bonus will also increase by 1% beyond 100%. The output of 4 workers on a day was as follows. So there are 4 workers A, B, C, D. The actual output is given 50, 80, 90, 105. Calculate the earnings of each worker. Ultimately, we have to find out what is the total earnings of each worker A, B, C, D. So earnings consist of daily wages plus bonus. Daily wages plus bonus. Now see the calculations here. Standard output per hour 10 units. Rate per hour 6 rupees. So piece rate is 6 rupees divided by 10 units, 60 paisa. Now standard output per day of 8 hours is 10 units into 8 hours, 80 units. तो every worker has to produce a standard output of 80 units. अगर 80 से कम बनाएगा तो उसको बोनस कम मिलेगा, 80 से ज्यादा बनाएगा तो उसको बोनस ज्यादा मिलेगा, depending on his efficiency. Now percentage of actual output over standard. What is the percentage of actual output over standard? तो actual output by standard output into 100. तो A's actual output is 50. A's actual output is 50. तो 50 by 80 into 100, 62.5. So A has produced 62.5% of standard. B has produced 80 units. So 80 by 80 into 100, 100%. So B has produced 100%. C 90 by 80 into 100, 112.5%. And D 105 by 80 into 100. Standard output 80 है, but he has produced 105. A very highly efficient worker. So his percentage comes to 131.25. These are the basic calculations we require for calculating the total earnings of the 4 workers. Now I am calculating the calculation of earnings of each of the worker A, B, C, D. So for your information, actual output is given in the problem: A 50, B 80, C 90, D 105. And percentage of actual output over standard already we have calculated here. So 62.5%, 100%, 112.5, 131.25. Now wages as per time rate basis. As per time rate basis, every day, every worker has to work for 8 hours. And the hourly rate is 6 rupees. So 8 hours into 6 rupees, 48 rupees is the wages according to time basis. Now above this, they will be paid bonus depending on their efficiency. So efficiency bonus. A. Actually A's output is 62.5% of standard. So it is given in the problem that up to 60% no. Up to 60% of standard no bonus will be given. So if a worker has produced up to 60% of standard, no bonus. If he produces more than 60%, he will be paid bonus. So if a worker has produced more than 60% up to 75%, he will be paid 5% bonus. 5% of wages as bonus. So it is more than 60, no? 62.5% means more than 60 but less than 75. So he will be paid 5% as bonus. So A will be given 5% of 48, 2.40. So 2.40 is the bonus for worker A. His wages, his bonus is 5% of wages because his actual output is more than 60% but less than 75%. Now B. What is the percentage here? 100%. So it is given in the problem from 90% to 100%. From 90%, above 90% to 100%, the bonus will be 10%. The bonus will be 15%. 15%. So 15% of 48 comes to 7.2. So 7.20 is the bonus for worker B. Now C. C has produced 112.5%. 112.5% का मतलब more than 100%. So it is given in the problem, if a worker has produced more than 100%, so for every 1% increase, 1% bonus will also increase. For every 1% increase, bonus will also increase by 1%. So up to 100%, the bonus is 15%. Up to 100%, the bonus is 15%. But he has produced 112.5. So how much is the excess over 100? 12.5. Over 100 is 12.5. So we add 15 plus 12.5, 27.5% of 48. 27.5% of 48. 13.2 is the bonus. Last one. D worker has produced 131.25%. It is more than 100%. So up to 100%, 15% bonus. Up to 100. Now in excess of 100, he is producing 31.25. In excess of 100, 31.25. So we add 31.25, 15 plus 31.25, 46.25% of wages will be the bonus. So 46.25% of 48, 22.2. Bonus is 22.20. So here I have taken 22.20. Now you add up 48 plus 2.4. 50.40 is the total earnings. Similarly, 48 plus 7.2. 55.2. 48 plus 13.2. 61.2. 48 plus 22.2. 70.2. These are the total earnings of the workers A, B, C and D. That's it. This is the end of problem number 9. Come on, now we'll start the next problem. Problem number 10. See the 10th problem carefully. From the following data, prepare a statement showing the cost per day of 8 hours. So we have to calculate the labor cost per day of 8 hours of engaging a particular type of labor. See here, wage payment is different from labor cost. The wage payment is the payment made to the workers. But labor cost means the total expenditure incurred on the workers by the employer. It may be the current monetary payment or deferred monetary payment. It may be on fringe benefits. So labor cost is a very wide term which includes not only the payment in cash to workers but also the other expenditure indirectly incurred on workers. That is called labor cost. So this is the first problem where we have to calculate the labor cost for a day of 8 hours. Monthly salary basic plus DA 200. Leave salary payable to the workman is 5% of salary. Employer's contribution to Provident Fund 8% of salary, items A and B. And employer's contribution to state insurance 2.5% of salary, items A and B. And pro rata expenditure on amenities to staff rupees 17.95 per head per month. Number of working hours in a month is 200. So we are given what are the different amounts of expenditure incurred by the employer on the workers. So first of all, we have to calculate the labor cost for a day of 8 hours. Day consists of 8 hours and we have to calculate labor cost for 8 hours, right? So first of all, calculation of labor cost per day of 8 hours. We have opened the column per month. We will take the salary. Salary basic plus DA is given. Per month the salary is 200 rupees per worker. Leave salary. Leave salary is 5% of basic. So 5% of salary. So 5% of 200 comes to 10 rupees. So A is the basic salary, B is the leave salary. Now contribution to Provident Fund. Employer's contribution to Provident Fund. Provident Fund is a saving and investment scheme where employee contributes from his salary and employer will also contribute into the account of PF of employee. The employee will get the return at the time of retirement both contribution of employee and as well as contribution by the employer. So from employer's point of view, it is an expenditure to the employer. Employer is paying the salary to employee. Apart from that, employer is contributing some amount into the account of employee's PF. So employer's contribution to Provident Fund 8% of salary. Salary means items A and B is given in the problem. Salary means items A and B, that is specified in the problem. So A and B means 200 plus 10, 210. So 8% of 210, 16.8. Similarly, employer's contribution to ESI, employee state insurance. Just like an employer will contribute to Provident Fund, employer will also contribute to state insurance. It is given 2.5% of item A and B. Item A and B means 200 plus 10, 210. So 2.5% of 210, 5 rupee 25%. Apart from that, pro rata expenditure on amenities to staff. Sometimes indirect expenditure will be incurred by the employer on the employees, like subsidized canteen will be given, or medical facilities are given, or conveyance facilities are given, recreational facilities are provided. All these are the indirect benefits given by the employer to the employee. So pro rata expenditure per head per month, it comes to 17.95. These are the non-monetary benefits given, fringe benefits given to the employee. So per month, what is the total labor cost? 250 rupees is the total labor cost per month. And month consists of how many working hours given in the problem? 200. Last line it is given, month consists of 200 working hours. That means employer is incurring a labor cost of 250 rupees and the number of workers are spending 200. Now we need what is the labor cost per day of 8 hours. Labor cost per day of 8 hours. How much is the expenditure labor cost per month? 250. How many hours? 200. So if you divide 250 divided by 200, you will get per hour. 250 rupees divided by 200 hours, you will get the labor cost per hour, 1 hour. But we require not 1 hour, but we require for 8 hours. So 250 rupees divided by 200 into 8. You will get the labor cost for 8 hours. 10 rupees is the labor cost. That's it. So this is the end of problem number 10. Now see the problem number 11. I am reading out the problem number 11. A factory department has 180 workers who are paid an average of 17.50 per week, 48 hours. So each worker is being paid 17 rupees 50 paisa per week of 48 hours. Dearness allowance per month 208 hours of rupees 130. Now see here, the factory is paying the wages of 17.50 per week, and week consists of 48 hours, and dearness allowance per month, and month consists of 208 hours, 130 rupees is the DA. Provident Fund deduction is 8% on gross. So from salary, the employer is deducting the Provident Fund. Just now I told you in PF, employer will contribute, employee will also contribute. So what the employer will do? Employer will deduct from the salary of the employee and deposit the amount in PF authorities. Right? So how much is the deduction? Provident Fund deduction is 8% on gross, of which 1/6% is family pension fund for half the number of workers and employees. So that 8% includes 1 and 1/6% of family pension fund. State insurance is rupees 1.25 for each. The company gives only minimum bonus of 8 1/3% and allows statutory leave of 2 weeks per year with pay. Show the weekly wage summary. Now see carefully. Weekly wage summary. So weekly wage summary, basic wages. Basic wages are 180 workers are there. Each worker is being paid 17.50. So we are calculating weekly, not monthly. We need weekly. So 180 workers into 117.5 per week, per worker. So it comes to 3,150 is the basic wage payable to 180 workers per week. DA, dearness allowance. Dearness allowance is given for 1 month, but we don't require 1 month. We need 1 week. So here 130 rupees is given for 1 month, and month consists of 208 hours. And for 208 hours, the DA will be 130, but we don't require 208, we need 48. Week consists of 48 hours. We are calculating the wage summary for 48 hours. So we need the DA for 48 hours. In the problem it is given the wage, DA for 208 hours. So convert the 208 into 48. So 130 rupees into 48 by 208. This will be for one worker. But totally how many workers are there? 180 workers are there. So 130 into 48 by 208, you will get the DA for one worker. Multiply with 180, we will get the DA for all 180 workers, 5,400. Bonus. Bonus is 8.1/3% of 8,550. What is this 8,550? Basic plus DA. Normally, the contribution to Provident Fund or Employee State Insurance Fund is on both the basic as well as DA. So basic 3,150, DA 5,400. Add up 8,550. So 8.1/3% of 8,550. 8.1/3 means 3 8s are 24, 24 plus 1 25. 25/3% of 8,550. If you divide 25 divide by 3, you will get 8.3333% of 8,550. It comes to 712.5. Now you add up gross wages. From gross wages, we make the deductions. First, Provident Fund deduction. Working note. In working note, I'll give the complete explanation regarding Provident Fund contribution. It comes to 584.25. Contribution to Family Pension Fund. Again, working note, we have to make the calculations. It comes to 49.88. Contribution to ESI, Employee State Insurance. So 180 workers into 1 rupee 25 paisa directly given in the problem. No need of any calculations. Multiply 180 into 1.25, 220. If you take the total of these three, 859.13 is the total deductions the employer will make from the wages of the workers. Worker के wages में से इतना amount deduct करेगा, तो net amount payable to the workers, net wages payable is 8,403.37. These are the net wages payable to the workers after making the deductions. Now in working note, we have to calculate contribution to Provident Fund, contribution to Family Pension Fund. Now see carefully. PF contribution, 8% of gross wages. It is given in the problem. The Provident Fund contribution is 8% of gross wages, of which 1/6% is for Family Pension Fund of half the number of employees. तो वो 8% में 1/6% मिला हुआ है. The gross deduction से वो 8%. तो हमको अलग अलग करना है. 8% में से 1/6 निकाल दिए तो PF contribution, और 1/6% जो रहेगा वो Family Pension Fund. तो separately we have to take. तो Provident Fund and Family Pension Fund are two different funds, two different deductions. So first we calculate for PF, Provident Fund. Next, Provident Fund is equal to 8 minus 1/6 of 8,550. 8,550 means the total of basic and DA. Now, 8 minus 6 ones are 6, 6 plus 1, 7, 7/6. So 8 minus 7/6. So directly 7/6 करेंगे, 1 point something you will get. So 8 minus 1 point something you will get 6.833. Or you can take the LCM. If you take the LCM 6, 8 6 are 48. 6 1s are 6, 1 7s are 7. So 48 minus 7 is 41/6% of 8,550. If you are not comfortable with calculations, then directly you divide. 7 divided by 6, you will get 1 point something. 1 point something you will get. So deduct 8 minus 1 point something, whatever you are getting, you will get 6.833%. 6.833% of 8,550, 584.25. So 584.25 is the deduction for Provident Fund. Deduction for Provident Fund. This is the deduction for PF contribution, 584. Now Family Pension Fund. 1/6% of 8,550. 1/6% of 8,550. So 7/6. 1/6. 6 ones are 6 plus 1 7. 7/6% of 8,000. So 7 divided by 6 will get 1.1666% of 8,550. 99.749. But half of the employees are availing the benefit of Family Pension Fund. Not all employees. It is given half of the employees are availing the benefit of family pension. So half 50% of 99.749. It comes to 49.88. So 49.88 is the contribution for family pension fund, right? So these are the directions. So 8403.37 is the weekly wage summary, net payment payable to workers. So this is the end of problem number 11.